So as pretty much the whole NBA world knows by now, Donovan Mitchell was shockingly traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers in a huge blockbuster deal that included Collin Sexton, Lauri Markkenen, Ochai Agbaji, and basically 5 first-round picks going to the Utah Jazz. This trade has already shaken up the whole NBA, and everyone is talking about it. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down and going into detail about the whole trade and what I think about it as a diehard Cleveland Cavaliers fan. If you guys saw my last video about this trade, you know I was super hyped up and excited, but now that I've had a few days to process everything, here is my official video. But before I begin, I really want to grow a Cavs and NBA fan base on this channel, and I would encourage you guys to put all your thoughts on my videos in the comments below. Even if you don't agree with some things, I would love for you guys to debate, and I will even respond. So if you do enjoy this video, even if you're not a Cavs fan, I would really appreciate your support. It takes only 5 seconds to like and subscribe to help grow my channel and get it pushed out to more people. Plus, you can always change your mind. So the Cavs have completely turned things around since LeBron James left in 2018. Just look at the difference between these two starting lineups, and it all happened in less than 4 years. We may never see a turnaround like this ever again, at least not in this amount of time. And heading into last season, I would have never known the rebuild was even close to being complete. Cleveland had some bright spots on their roster, but they never had anything to show for it record-wise. But then last year, the Cavs had a special 44-win season that should have been way more. It kind of all came out of nowhere, but the emergence of future superstars Darius Garland and Evan Mobley created hope again for basketball fans in the city of Cleveland. I'm sure you guys that consistently watch me are tired of hearing me recap last season, so you can skip through this part, but the Cavs emerged out of pretty much nowhere all the way to being a playoff team and a contender at one point. They were even ranked within the top 5 of the power rankings. Injuries killed, but also made the season if I'm going to be honest. When Collin Sexton went down in the first month of the season, I thought that meant it was going to be another year of less than 30 wins. But it turns out Darius Garland was being held back, and once he finally got the keys to the offense, he unleashed his all-star potential. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen started to dominate together in the paint, and they became in my eyes the best rim protecting duo in the entire NBA, and I fully expect them to get even better this season. I've heard some people say the Cavs are going to have bad defense with Donovan Mitchell, but those people have never watched basketball before. It really doesn't matter how bad Spida is at defense, because if he gets beat inside, Jarrett Allen and Mobley will both be sitting there ready to get blocks and contest everything. I really think Mobley will be a contender for Defensive Player of the Year by the end of this next season. People that don't watch really just don't understand how impactful of a player Mobley is. Most people just look at his build and think he's got a long way to go, but he plays physical with the best of them, and he has a touch around the rim that I've never seen for anyone that tall. And another thing that nobody talks about is his demeanor. It doesn't matter who's out there or what happens, he looks like he belongs, and his mood doesn't change. The combination of having Garland and Mitchell playing together along with Allen and Mobley is gonna be scary. I don't know if you guys realize, but that's basically 4 All-Stars. Nobody else in the NBA has that. It will be interesting to see how the All-Stars complement each other, and we still don't have a pure shooter, but I'm not sure if we need one anymore, because scoring won't be a problem. Moving on, now I want to talk about what actually was involved in the trade. The first thing I'm going to cover is all the picks. The Cavs gave up 3 unprotected first rounders in 2025, 2027, and 2029, and also 2 pick swaps. I don't think these picks matter too much for Cleveland anymore, because they should be in the late 20s, or in other words, they better be. The Cavs also gave up Collin Sexton, Lauri Markkenen, and newly drafted Ochai Agbaji. Lauri Markkenen had a great season last year, and unexpectedly, he was part of the Cavs' successful 3 7-footer lineup. He also had some great poster dunks that made it onto SportsCenter Top 10, and he was one of our only reliable 3-point shooters. We didn't know too much about Ochai Agbaji because he was just drafted, but he was looking sharp in Summer League, and I think he's going to be a reliable player and shooter throughout his NBA career. Then last, but definitely not least, Cleveland traded away the heart and soul of the rebuild, Collin Sexton. I hated to see him go, but I think it was time, And I have to finally admit that he was the one holding Darius Garland back. For as good of a scorer he was and the passion he played with, it was easy as a fan to fall in love with his game. But in reality, he was small, did not play great defense, and did not pass well within the flow of the offense. But now, since we have Donovan Mitchell as a replacement, everything is solved. Since the Cavs didn't give up any of the core in this trade, and Mitchell is coming off another all-star season averaging 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, my initial reaction was pure shock. I'm telling you, there isn't another team in the NBA with a better starting lineup. The Cavs already shocked the world this year with how they came out of nowhere to almost make the playoffs despite injuries, so for this next season, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I really do think there's 60 win potential. Having a proven star that can get a bucket whenever needed is going to be so huge for this team, because last year all the weight was on Garland's shoulders, and I think it was a little bit too much to handle for one guy, and it showed in the play-in game against the Hawks. Even though he's still very young, Donovan Mitchell will add so much needed experience to this ultra young lineup. And I think even at age 25, he hasn't hit his peak yet, especially if he can pick things up on the defensive end. And it's not like Mitchell is going to be required to do all the scoring for this Cavs team. In fact, I expect his average to go down slightly from 25 points per game to the low 20s. Another thing I haven't heard anyone point out yet is that Donovan Mitchell is used to playing with all-star defensive centers that were also lob threats. But this time he has 2 of them, along with another superstar point guard, way different from when he had Mike Conley, no disrespect intended. According to inside sources, when Donovan Mitchell found out he was traded to Cleveland and Garland, Mobley, and Allen were not in the trade, he was golfing and ran around the course screaming in happiness. As a Cleveland fan, I have never had a time in my life with this much talent on all 3 teams. So I am so excited and interested to see what's in store for the future. I've already been thinking about what the Cavs need to do with their rotations, because although they're still deep, we did lose a lot of guys on the bench, and certain players are going to need to step up. I think Garland and Mitchell should both play the first 5 minutes and last 5 minutes of every game together, obviously, but I think they need to spread out their minutes so they don't wear down throughout the season. It's so crazy that I'm talking about the Cavs and load management again. I just can't believe this trade actually happened, and what an upgrade Mitchell is going to be compared to having Garland and Sexton. I love Sexton, and so does all of Cleveland. The Jazz are going to be my new second favorite team, but it was clear Sexland wasn't going to work out long term, or at least it wasn't going to give us the full potential that this team has. And like I was saying earlier, people are already trying to say the same thing about Donovan Mitchell, but it's all ridiculous. He has a stronger build, he's more athletic, he's a slightly better passer, and an even better scorer. He also knows how to win from experience, a lot more than Sexton. But anyways, yes, in the past, I have said 2 small guards can't go anywhere far in the postseason, but it is just such a different story when you have Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen playing right behind them. Like I said, if Garland or Mitchell gets beat off the dribble, they're just going to run straight into a versatile brick wall. I will say Mitchell can be lackluster on defense like he has in the past, but I think he'll be re-energized with this new team, and hopefully he can step it up. It will also help now that he doesn't have to use all his energy on the offensive end. In my opinion, the Cavs right now also have one of the best defensive schemes in the whole NBA. They run a Superman zone where Mobley sits in the middle to disrupt everything, and it really doesn't require too much from the guards except to keep their man from getting a wide open 3. It really doesn't even matter if they get beat inside, but let me know what you guys think about how good or bad Cleveland's defense will be this season. I really can't tell you a team in the East that has a better roster than the Cavs right now. Yes, I'm a biased fan, and I know the Bucks, Celtics, Heat, and 76ers are all going to be up there, but I think Cleveland can compete with any of them. In fact, we actually won our series against the Bucks last year. The 76ers are an interesting one for me, because I really do think the Cavs are better now, but that team is just so frustrating, and they know how to draw fouls very well. And I also saw they just picked up Montrezl Harrell. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. I just cannot wait until the home opener on October 23rd that I'm going to. The future is super bright in Cleveland, and I can't wait to see it unfold. I am also so excited for the grind I'm going to be doing with this channel, and I hope you guys join me for the ride. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video, and also comment below what you want to see next. Thank you all for watching, stay tuned for more videos, and until next time, I'll see you all later.